So I'm going to make this horizon line just a little bit lower, so I'll start with a point here and just take a measurement. It's almost 15/16, 2 and 15/16, so that's easily placed. Again, putting the horizon line there. So now I can kind of estimate where I want this to start and stop. I'm going to come below this a little bit. Sketching that up like that. So that's going to be the first line segment, just as a rough sketch. So now I can go ahead and put it in as a vertical, just make sure everybody's straight here. And once I have the height, just transpose that over to the right vanishing point, right over here. And do the same with the base down here. Make sure I hold it steady. Right there. Now I'm going to have mine just like in the sketch going right to left. So here's kind of the idea again. That's the sketch. I'm just changing the vantage point a little bit. And I just have to anticipate just about how far I want this. I'm going to make it about that far across. Take the ruler. Okay, and that gives me the initial setup. I'm going to take away the horizon line just so I don't get confused as to these lines there. Cross that diagonal, and this I'm just going to keep a light line but go all the way across because that's going to help me measure. Okay, go back to this thumbnail sketch to show you that now I'm just going to start with just the height of this, and that'll give me the dimension to it. So I'm going to make it about this tall. And just line it up. So there it is. It intersects here, so I just have to transfer this point up to the top diagonal. Right up here like so. And connect that point to here, and that'll be the top piece. So I'm making it kind of a thick line there. The second part of this, I've kind of had a top view of this one. Now it's going to be at the upper view, but I just have to start off with this shape and then transfer that across. So I'm going to kind of sketch it in here about this big and about this far down. So let's see. So if I just start with the first one, now keep in mind I'm going to draw the line segment that I want, and as it crosses over the diagonal, that's where it's going to set in, but I don't have to make it that thick. Okay, so right from here it'll cross over. So from this point, use this to help me with the measuring. I'm just going to put like a dotted line to get to this side, and that's where that's going to be transferred across. So let's see if that makes sense. So there's the same shape. I just don't want it to be all the way to the top, so I'm going to cut it off about here. Okay, so that's going that direction. This will go back. And depending on how far I want to make it here, I'm going to make it about this far. And do the same, creating just that shape. I'm not sure how big I want to make this yet. I have a sketch there, so I'll just stretch that line up and let it touch the diagonal, sketch up this way. So right at these 2 points where it hits the diagonal, I'm just going to transfer it over and have it go up. And this is still just using the vanishing point to the right, so it comes all the way over. And I just have to do it once. Here's the part where it's going to transfer up. And now you can see that I have this top part, the bottom, and the section here. Now the thickness, I'm just going to make it an arbitrary piece. So once I get it set up, I'll sketch a little bit here and here, and then just transfer this over. Now you can do the same with the thickness of this with the diagonal, but I'm just going to keep it with a visual approach to it right now. So there's the outside edge of that one. This just goes all the way to the vanishing point, and I'll finish it off here. So if I work on the top one first, and then this one, you can kind of see I didn't draw the other walls yet, but this is where it's headed to. So this is the top kind of beam section, and then all these are headed onto that vanishing point. So just put the point there, give it an edge, lightly pencil this in. Okay, here's the same one on this side. Sketch that across. So when it gets closer to the eye level, it gets really tight. You just have to compensate for that line. And here's this edge, and these should line up if everything's accurate. We're not using a T-square, but it's close. So here's this line coming to this vanishing point. And it should be over here too. So here's this part coming right up. So I just transferred the thickness over by doing that. Okay. So hopefully you can see that, because I'm going to sketch a few other things into this. And like I said, when I take a look at the sketch, that's kind of what I have on the base. Up at the top, I'm just going to add a few things. So I'll sketch at least that part out so you can see it. And this is where it's going to become a little more organic. So I'm going to put some snow piles up here. And again, trying to put it in perspective, even though this is just organic type snowdrift here. Like that. Maybe bend the curve of this. Okay. We have some icicles hanging down. But again, this will be just trying to have you do the color pencil on this as well. There it is. So now I can go in this with a little pen before I do it with the color, just to give me a little bit of an outlined edge to it. Keep in mind you can also, I have it on the table, I'm just going to put some paper underneath this to get a little more cushion. And just kind of show it to you. So I can start to pen this in a little bit. Or you can start right with the color pencil and build it up. I'm just going to outline it just a little bit and then erase some of the graphite. So I can work with it like that. So for example, the parts I'm going to keep, I'll just do a little bit right here. So it's kind of working along that line before I start to color.